Yeah, welcome back to the session. So before we start the actual talk, we take some time to reflect on what's going on in the world, in particularly feel for those who are, tremendous suffering or pain under oppression, war, natural disaster, and diseases, and try to generate sincere, great compassion, altruistic love, and dedicate our rest of life, in particularly this very life, rest of lifetime, and in particular this very life, and this very session for the cause of ultimate liberations of enlightenment for all the suffering beings. And maybe we do a short meditation on that. Yeah, then generate altruistic motivation on the basis of refreshing refuge in Guru Buddha Dharma Sangha. Then after that, make salutation to Guru Shakyamuni Buddha and to lineage Guru, like His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Sangye Jodan Zoye Jona La Janju Bando Dani Yazunje Daji Jinso Jebe Zonamje Dolan Benje Sangye Dobarai Sangye Jodan Zoye Jona La Janju Bando Dani Yazunje Daji Jinso Jebe Zonamje Dolan Benje Sangye Dobarai Sangye Jodan Zoye Jona La Janju Bando Dani Yazunje Daji Jinso Jebe Zonamje Dolan Benje Sangye Dobarai Semje damje dewa dang dewe ju dang dembra ju je semje damje dunga dang dunga je ju dang rawra ju je semje damje dunga mebe dewa dang mi rawa ju je semje damje nyere cha dang ni dang rawe dang yon la nebra ju ro jik semje damje dewa dang dewe ju dang dembra ju je semje damje dunga dang dunga je ju dang rawa ju je semje damje dunga mebe dewa dang mi rawa ju je semje damje nyere cha dang ni dang rawe Danyola nebara juro je, zemje damje dewa dang, dewe ju dang dembra ju je, zemje damje dunga dang, dunga je ju dang dawa ju je, zemje damje dunga mebe dewa dang mi dawa ju je. Zemje damje nyere jada nye dang dawe, danyola nebara juro je. Kange doze ne zone, dawa damje bambe jire, dambe june denze bang, wadam de la cha tse bo. Tongyi nyingje sondo jube lama tseje zenje ganje dende gun chana bemo dende nja zola sowa debzo da yue chenye lo. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so yes, please relax yourself. Um, uh, if you haven't had your dinner, you can enjoy your dinner also together, if you like. So today, the teaching topic, uh, how to uh, mm, how to practice wisdom and method in union. So yeah, something like that. So last two sessions offer a brief overview what really the method is, what really the methods are, and what really the wisdoms are. So so today maybe yeah very much maybe we can talk about how to bring those two paths into application of practices in our day-to-day life. Even though there are many different levels of, practicing wisdom and method in union as a path based on the individual's, capability in relation to those as a beginner, those who just enter into the path but is still ordinary path, and those who are in the Arya path. Then within the Arya path, along the 10 bhumis, within each bhumi, there is a complete, practice of union of wisdom and method in the form of retreat or in the form of the completions of that particular bhumi. And then once you actualize state of full enlightenment, there you actualize the union of wisdom and method effortlessly. As far as concerned, in the trainee part, then all has to be engaged through effort, creation and effort. When we actualize Buddhahood, then wisdom and method, ever stay in union. Whenever there's whenever there's targeted application of wisdom, the method equally manifests by itself without any motivation or without any creation or effort. Whenever Buddha performed targeted practice of method, such as through altruism benefiting sentient being, wisdom naturally equal force, be present like that. But as far as concerned with the in the training part, along the 10 bhumis, the wisdom and methods are very much has to practice in different times, but still, it still can be in union in the sense the cultivation of wisdom is infused by, is motivated by altruism. Cultivation of method is very much in the expense of, in the expense of the wisdom. Such an example, the Arya beings on the first bhumi, the first moment of the first bhumi in the path of seeing and part of seeing throughout the path of meditation. There are stages, the session and post-session stages. So the session, the first moment very much start with the session. Even though that session is motivated by post meditation session from the ordinary path, such as part of preparation. So, so in the first moment of the first bhumi, is a meditative equipoise practice on emptiness. And on that level, there's no sight of method aspect of path at all. The practitioner, even though in such a high level of Arya beings practice, but won't able to manage to be practiced simultaneously. So as long as the practitioner in a meditative equipoise on emptiness, there's no arising or there's no performance of any method aspect of the path, like generation of compassion, altruistic attitudes, and the practice of the other paramitas, such as generosity, etc. If in case during the meditative equipoise, any of the method aspect of the path arises, in fact, it becomes obstacle. It becomes obstacle to the meditation. But still qualified to be union, as I mentioned before. It was motivated by altruism. In order the Arya, the first bhumi practitioner to get into meditative equipoise, is because of bodhicitta, because targeted to actualize enlightenment. In order to do that, you need to eliminate the negation, the defilement, stages of defilement. In order to overcome the stages of defilement, through the full force of generations of altruistic method, won't able to deliver that job. It has to be eradicated by a direct antidote, which is the wisdom of emptiness, and that also through the meditative equipoise, by first directly opening, directly opening to the negation, and bring into elimination from the mind stream of the practitioner, such like in the dark room, in the middle of the night, you on the light. When you on the light in the middle of the night, in the dark room, the darkness, which is like negation, the defilement, it eliminated. It eliminated from that room, but it is not completely eliminated from the root, because until the daylight comes, if you off the light, darkness will return, isn't it? So therefore, the meditative equipoise, the first section in Tibetan is called Parche Lams, Parche Melam, the uninterrupted, or the path of no obstacle. So, so the practitioner, when consistently, without breaking the session, continue in that meditative equipoise until the meditator achieve the cessation, complete cessation of the next level of bhumi, then is like the person that hold on the light until next morning when the sun rises. Then that light, that darkness of that night will never return back. Then you don't need to worry about, staying foot on the switch, isn't it? So like that. So when you achieve the cessation from that particular level of completely eradicating the defilement, then you move on to the second bhumi. So then similar, when you achieve the cessation, then you take the break, taking break, which is very much called as the post-meditation session. So you see, so the first moment of the moving between first bhumi to the second bhumi is meditative equipoise. And once you achieve the second bhumi, then the next moment is a post-meditation session. So post-meditation session, again, is very much by the impact of the meditation session before to progress yourself. Because the second level of defilement will be much more harder, much more subtle than the defilement you just eradicated before. So the practitioner already, understood the level or the strength of the meditative equipoise on emptiness. So in order to strengthen the wisdom of emptiness, they have to accumulate merit. So merit is the force which will make the wisdom of emptiness become more concentrated, become more effective. So for that reason, then the practitioner has to engage into the practice of method aspect of the path, such as engaging the practice of generosity, very much all the all the 5 of the 6 perfection practices are the method aspect of practices that they engage. So once you gather stores of merit, and that will again initiate the practitioner to, have confidence to get into meditative session again. And that's the time, you move on through the meditative session with the 2 aspects of the path. The first one is, again, directly open on, Parchemelam, use the Parchemelam, the path uninterrupted, or the path which is no obstacle. Then you succeed from complete eliminating by achieving the cessation called Namdolam. Then that's how that you move on. You upgrade yourself from first bhumi all the way up to the 10 bhumi. So now the first moment of the 10 bhumi is again meditative equipoise, and in between there's a pause session to accumulate another stores of merit. Then the last moment of the meditative equipoise of the 10 bhumi, last moment of the 10 bhumi is the meditative equipoise. Then after completely eradicating entire stages of the defilement, complete stages of the defilement, then you achieve this Dharmakaya, the wisdom body, the complete cessations of enlightenment. So that's how. Yes, so that's how you progress on the journey of the path. So my point here is, to talk about union of wisdom and method. So what I'm trying to say is that here there's no, wisdom and method together practicing simultaneously, and that's what I'm trying to say. But why is union? Because each of the progress is forced by each other. Force, that's how you progress on the path, like that. So similar in, so then when you achieve Buddhahood, then there's no such kind of, effort is required, as I already explained before. So now those who are in the ordinary path, such as a path of accumulation, path of preparation, it is similar, even though the wisdom of emptiness is not the equal wisdom of emptiness that cultivated by Arya beings, but still, it is a wisdom of emptiness. It's more of the conceptual realization on emptiness. As far as concerned with the method aspect of the path, the bodhicitta is an equal, characteristic, same characteristic. The ordinary bodhisattva, Arya bodhisattva, what they practice. So now, so throughout the 5 paths and the 10 bhumi, they accomplish, the practitioner able to achieve enlightenment because of accomplishing the complete 3 countless eons merit. Complete 3 countless eons merit. The first accumulations of the merit of method and merit of wisdom is when you are in the path of accumulation of the ordinary path, the first path. Then the second accumulations of the great eons merit of method and merit of wisdom, when you complete the 7 bhumis, which is during the path of meditation, which is the fifth which is on the 4th path, during part of meditation. When you reach the stage of 8 bhumi, by completing the 7 bhumi, then you complete the second accumulation of great eons merit. Then when you complete the 10 bhumi, then you complete the third accumulation of great eons merit of method and merit of wisdom, and that's how that you actualize Buddhahood. Then another aspect of understanding is that very much when you actualize the ordinary path, you are very much under the very much over control over the committing uncontrolled committing of karma. So you gain some kind of control over your emotion, so that you can direct accordingly with the way you want of your deeds of body, speech, and mind. So very much of the common, very very day to day, the karma that we commit because of lack of no mindfulness, and the force of gross distractions. So easily we commit karma, isn't it? And when someone achieve ordinary bodhisattva's path, they come to a position that they are quite stable. Then when the bodhisattva they reached the 8 bhumi, then the delusional obstacle to nirvana will be purified. Delusional obstacle to nirvana, which the lower 2 vehicles to achieve the cessation from entire samsara and the karma and the delusion, on that obstacle, which is the main obstacle to nirvana peace, will be overcome completely when the practitioner achieve 8 bhumis. Then when the practitioner achieve the cessation from the 10 bhumis, then you purify completely the defilement to omniscient, which is the main obstacle to Buddhahood. So you see, usually the entire obstacles, very much divided into 3 types, and entire the accumulation of merits or the virtue or practices, very much divided into 3, the 3 accumulation of merit. So this is like overall view, to understand like that. So as a someone serious, practitioner of the path of Buddhism, then this is the objective. We need to achieve 3 countless eons merit, and we need to purify 3 different type of obstacles. So when you're able to do that, or even you're able to do the first one, is already great. Then of course, no question about the last one. You already get enlightened, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so now comes to us. Maybe some of you may already enter into the path, so already
already, introduced what's going on. But those who are not entering into path, like myself, then how to go about it, how to cultivate the practice of method and wisdom in union. So there are many different ways to explain. Maybe I explain this first in relation to someone who aspire Mahayanic Buddhism, Mahayanic path. Then the main theme of the practice of the path is the label is wisdom and method, but it comes in the practice of six perfection. Practice of six perfection is the hands-on practice of what it means by practice of wisdom and method, isn't it? So now the sixth perfection up to the number 5, practice of generosity, practice of morality, practice of patience, practice of joyous effort, practice of concentration, also regarded as a method aspect of the path. Then the last one, the number 6, the wisdom is the wisdom aspect of the path. Now in the Paramita Sutras, emphasize to practice whichever paramita you practice, it should be, it should have the element of the rest of the other 5 practice of the perfection. So that meaning when you practice the first one, practice of generosity, that need to be practiced having the element of the rest of the 5 paramitas practice. If you're able to do that, you are practicing wisdom method in union. And that can be done, if I may illustrate that way, cooking. Everybody cooks, isn't it? Especially those who make delicious food at home, abundance of cooking generosity to your family members or yourself, I mean, always better to cook by yourself, even how lousy cook you may be, still healthier to cook by yourself than always eating in the restaurant, isn't it? Well then, from the spiritual point of view, from the practice point of view, unbelievable benefits. If you know this, you are not just cooking for one person, you're cooking for minimum 84,000 living beings. You're not feeding one person, you're feeding minimum 84,000 living beings. You are not making charity to just one person, you're making charity to minimum 84,000 living beings. It emphasizes, maybe even scientifically, may be able to prove that, but in the spiritual scriptures emphasize that, how tiny your body may be, as long as you have this physical body, there's a minimum 84,000 sentient beings, which are in the form of bacteria, in our body, scientifically, maybe more than that, isn't it? So therefore, each of these bacteria, which are all sentient being, mother sentient being, their survival is depend on your strength of physical body, and your strength of physical body is dependent on the consumption of food and drinks. You see, so now, so therefore, when you eat, when you eat food, if we want to integrate that into altruistic practice, then you remember of those mother sentient beings, minimum 84,000 living beings, for their well-being. For their well-being, in immediate practice of generosity, they are, pacified their hunger, their thirst, the material gift. Then, on top of that, you offer the Dharma gift, the supreme generosity, that as like all the past Buddhas and Bodhisattvas have practiced, that's how they become Buddha. such as like the Bodhisattva, great-hearted, in the Tigris, in Namo in Nepal, the Bodhisattva, great-hearted, the previous, past lifetimes of the Shakyamuni Buddha, when he make the charity of his body, flesh, he said, by consuming this material gift, then may you receive the Dharma gift. May you create the causes of it in receiving the Dharma gift, and which will liberate you. It's in the state of liberation. So because of that aspiration, when he give food to the tiger, the aspiration that he made, those 5 tigers family reborn as a 5 Brahmin, as a first disciple of Buddha's returning of the Dharma. You see, so similar, we can do similar act like that. Those Buddha's lives are the teaching for us to practice. So we can practice the similar way. So all these 84,000 living beings who karmically have a special connection to me, therefore they are in my body. They are not in others' body, isn't it? It has to do with the karma connection. So now, on the basis of that, then every single, the charity that I make, the food and drink, may it be the complete cause in the future when I actualize state of enlightenment, when I come to turn the wheel of Dharma, just like the past Buddhas, may you be the first disciple, and right there, may I actualize you all in the stage of arahantship, and in the stage of nirvana, and the state of full enlightenment, like that. So, okay, maybe I'm a bit distracted. My point is going away, but I think it's good distraction. It's okay. So what I'm trying to say is that cooking is so meaningful, so meaningful. It's a huge practice. Then on top of making charity and generosity to you and 84,000 living beings, then if you have a bigger family, if you have many people to feed, even greater benefit, unbelievable benefit. The more the people that you can offer the feast of your food, wow, because each of them, not just one person, or even it can be a pet, cat and dogs. The more the cats and the more the dogs that you have within each of those beings, minimum 84,000 living beings. Now you understand. If you have a 2 family member, wow, already number increased so much, or your object of charity, it's unbelievable, isn't it? So it is not just a kind of like a fantastic kind of idea. It is real thing. It is real thing. There is definitely infinite bacteria in our in the body, isn't it? So then they definitely do depend on the consumption of nutrition, isn't it? The food, isn't it? So it is a real thing. So so then on top of that, then the purpose of consuming this food is not by attachment, not to just satisfy my hunger. So there's a prayers practices to be reminded. I think it's in the food offering prayer. If you refer to the the one of the sutra, I can't remember the name. So so you consume the food as a medicine, as a nectar. You don't consume the food because of you have attachment to the food. You detach. You understand it is essenceless of inherent existence, or true substantial existence. Then the subject, the person who consume, you are the who consuming. You don't consume just to gain some nutrition, or fulfill your hunger and thirst. Because in absolute reality, there's also no substantial existence of self, and there's no substantial existence of the body that you are feeding. You see, and you are consuming the food just to sustain this precious human rebirth, completely in dedication in the service of numberless sentient beings, enlightenment. How beautiful it is! You know, you are consuming just to secure this precious human rebirth, completely in dedication in the service of numberless sentient beings, enlightenment. It is wow, so beautiful, so wonderful. You see, so that's how you eat the food in dedication of your life in the service of sentient being. You see, so that's one thing. Now the another thing, if you are practitioners of deity yoga, then you are always in Guru Yoga practice, meaning yourself, Guru, deity, oneness. That's the Guru Yoga. You know, you are always in that. You are Guru. You are the deity. You are not separate from deity and the Guru. You see. Then on top of that, when you practice high secret tantric deity, one of the yoga is always live in the self-generation, the divine pride, which you need to become a deity, and you need to carry that awareness every single, ever time. You never become ordinary. You ever in the deity, self-generated deity, isn't it? Now, whatever food that you consume, you're offering to the deity, you're offering to your guru, you're offering, and each of the deity has a numberless interraj. It is retinue of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and Dharmapalas, their attendants. You see, so you are making offering to all the infinite, the deities, your meditation and deity, and it is retinue. Then can you imagine, to be able to make offering to Guru, it is the supreme object of your merit when you make offering, material offering, the offering of your service, offering of your body, speech, and mind, offerings of your merit. The Guru is the ultimate object, isn't it? Now you are offering, minimum 3 times of abundance, stomach full meal. Then how many liters of water that we drink, so if we practice that way, then worth to drink, even how clean water you drink is worth. Even you need to spend money, no worries, because you have abundance of merit. Even how good food, how healthy food that you are able to eat, worth. Otherwise, very much, the food that we have, the drink that we have, even the clean water that we have, everything is a result of our past merit. And each time we consume, we exhaust the merit. Each time we consume, we lessen our past accumulation of merit. Then if we don't accumulate more merit, then on top of that, we eat with the miserly. If we eat with the wrong livelihood, money, wealth, then all this will, result abundance of suffering in the future lifetime, especially in the preta realms. You see. So now is, from this point of view, it's so important to know the practice. First thing is not to commit new karma. Second thing is not to waste the already, the meritorious karma that you already accumulated before. Third thing is, wow, you have all the opportunity. You utilize those opportunities to accumulate abundance of practices. Extensive Guru Yoga practice, extensive deity yoga practice, extensive charity practice. You see, and that also now, you see, as I mentioned before, the korsum mimik be gembe jimba. The jimba is the generosity. The korsum mimikba is adorn, adorn or understand in the 3 emptiness. 3 emptiness. So that's how you integrate the wisdom aspect, because the practice of generosity is a method. Now union with the practice of wisdom, understanding the giver yourself, then the object, the food or the drink, then the receiver, the receiver, those sentient beings that you're offering, all lies in the nature of lack of inherent existence. You understand everything in the nature of emptiness. So this is called korsum mimikpa. So that way you integrate, you union in the practice of wisdom. Then on top of that, you do the practice, you do the charity, like now we are giving example of cooking, and eating food. You do that with a full concentration, not to get distracted. Let's say if you're cooking for you and your family, then not to get distracted by laziness. Then not to get distracted by, how to say, like wrong ideas, wrong views, when while cooking, when you are too tired, when you start to feel that why only me have to cook yesterday and today again, last week and this week again, the rest of the family members, some are just enjoying watching TV, some just, blah, 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 talking, wasting time, and some like they're so busy going here and there. And I am the one that need to cook all the time, and sometimes, poor cook, get upset, isn't it? Or when you are upset, then you may say, made this food, I have to cook, no choice. But after eating, may they get a stomach problem. So after eat, so next time, they will never let me cook, so I will be free. So then sometime, you may put extra salt, because you are so upset. You put extra salt. In the family, especially those who just like full-time watching TV, doing nothing, and they don't like chili, and you add chili in it. So if you're not mindful and concentrated, you can get distracted with the delusions, and you can get distracted with so many things can go wrong, you see. So you have to be full concentration, full mindfulness. The mindfulness of, I'm doing this as a charity, whatever said before, I'm doing this for all the earlier before, not just before now, not adding the extra salt. So you see, so like the example that I give the Buddhists are great-hearted, be mindful of that, mindful of that, even though in the family, some family they don't practice religious practices, or some they even may criticize Dharma, or some they just completely distracted by sensual distractions, material distractions, they never realize, the life is very fragile, the precious human rebirth and all this, they have no idea, So when you cook, you have full concentration, mindfulness and awareness that by feeding this food, he or she, awaken in the heart into Dharma, and through this practice of charity, I will accumulate abundance of merit. So therefore, without any doubt, I will achieve enlightenment without delaying much. When I achieve enlightenment, may my brother, sister, parent, whoever, may they become my first disciple and turn the wheel of Dharma. So may it be a complete cause of their full enlightenment. So this, full focus, full mindfulness. Then mindfulness and the concentration towards always, remembering the rest of the 84,000 living beings, as I mentioned before, they are your mother, like how we learn from the 7 cause and effect, recognizing all of them as your mother, so while cooking, all of each and every one of them, is your precious mother. Then you remember the kindness of them, they have benefited in numberless lifetimes, and now you want to repay their kindness, then full of compassion towards them, at least in myself, as a human, I can practice the practice of generosity, 6 paramita. These 4 bacteria, they are completely helpless, completely helpless. So therefore, it is my full responsibility when I have this opportunity of practice of wisdom and method. It's my responsibility, my full responsibility to liberate all of them. And the way to do that is no way, if I give teaching, they don't understand, but they still require nutrition. So this is the way that I feed them. This is the skillful means that I gradually, liberate them in the state of full enlightenment. You see, then generate immense of compassion, love, so like that, then cultivate bodhicitta. You see, so being mindful is, you union with the practice of the concentration. Then you do with it full of joyous effort, joyous effort. It's very much like, you say, tomorrow, who's going to cook? It's like, for you are the first one. It's, I'm going to cook for all of everybody. It's like even though you're a bit tired and you can, you used to feel whatever I mentioned before, lazy, watching TV, etc. But still, because of you are cultivating Dharma, this practice, wow, you are so enthusiastic, you are completely overjoyed that whenever you get a chance to cook, you see, so full of joy. So during the time of cooking, you are completely in bliss. Because of you carry joyous effort, you are in bliss. It's very much like you are fulfilling entire your meaning of life, like there in front of your stove, the kitchen. Your kitchen is like paradise of Dharma, paradise of, path to enlightenment. It's unbelievable, you see. So you feel so happy. Then you can imagine, you carry beautiful smile, or at least, like kind of when you are in a joyous mood, you have this radiance, isn't it? So with that joyous mood, you bring the food on the table, and the rest of your family member looking at you, everybody will be infectious with your positive energy. Somewhere, somehow, you will bring immense of healing to each and every one of them. Unbelievable practice, you see. So like that. Then patient or require tremendous patience. Again, to do with, the cooking require tremendous effort. You see, tremendous effort and tremendous obstacles. Sometimes fire is too small, sometimes fire is too big. Just yesterday I tried to cook a dal. I was distracted by, plant. Then I was completely distracted by the plant. Then suddenly I smell very bad. I said, where is the smell coming from? I thought I did off the fire, but in the pressure cooker, the dal was completely burned. Because the water is no more, the pressure cooker don't even make sound. So it's just the smoke coming out. So like that. So you see, okay, yes, a lot of obstacles, a lot of obstacles. So you need tremendous patience, So if you are angry, you may bang the pressure cooker with a burned dal. You may break the stove, or you may break something, If somebody is around, you may hit someone. When you're angry, you become mad. You see, so you need so much patience, so much calmness, in whatever situation arises, and especially if you're living with a family, then even though you prepare such a nice food in your perspective, but then as I mentioned before, some like chili, some don't like chili, some like salty, some don't like salty, you know, this and that. And instead of saying thank you, you know, everyone get, you know, many of them get upset. He say, why is so salty? Why is so little? Why is so much? You know, why you cook like that? You know, it happens, isn't it? So it is a very common thing. So after put so much effort cooking and end by getting angry, can you imagine? There won't be more disaster than that, isn't it? Just because of others' behavior, you know, your whole effort is gone. And when it comes to merit, one moment of anger, like how we learn from Bodhisattvacharya, one moment of anger, just not just destroy the present merit, but destroy eons of accumulation of merit. So it's no way you can afford to do that, you see. So you need unbelievable practice of patience, you know. So knowing the disadvantage of laziness, it was a disadvantage of, what you call, disadvantage of anger, then the benefit of patience, you know, you remember them. So then you construct yourself, you know, in a very calm, peaceful cook, very calm, peaceful serving, you see. So like that. Then morality, you know, morality. So morality again, you know, morality of serving sentient beings, or morality of abstaining from negativities, morality of, you know, gathering virtue. So now you gather all the virtue into the food. As I mentioned before, you know, may it be like a medicine, may it be the cause for my family members to eventually, you know, receive Dharma and get enlightened, you see. Then abstaining from negativities, morality of abstaining from negativities, such as, you know, while cooking, not to make sure that not to get angry. So not getting angry, you know, being mindful of patience itself is a morality, you see. Then making charity, you know, have a heart of making charity is also morality, you see. So all the three morality practice of Bodhisattva, you integrate into it, you see. So now you see this one practice of generosity, just cooking, it union with the rest of the paramita practice. So based on this, you know, you can do nothing. You can just dedicate cooking all the time, ever cooking. You know, you can accomplish the complete perfections of practice of six paramita. So when you accomplish the practice of six paramita, that's the moment that you achieve state of full enlightenment. You know, so now you relate this to doing the chore in the house, cleaning. You can relate this exactly to whatever job that you do in the office, you see. So can you imagine if you apply six paramita in the practice of of working in the office, you're going to be the most harmonious colleague in the office. You're going to be the most generous colleague in the office. You're going to be the most charming, most patient colleague in the office. You know, you're going to be the most selfless person in the office. You know, you're going to be the very much like wish-fulfilling gem in the office for everybody if you integrate the practice of six paramita. You see? So then you, similar when you do gardening, you know, you apply the six paramita. When you do driving, you apply the six paramita. Or then when you, of course, when you practice, you know, any form of service, you know, taking care of your parents, taking care of, you know, someone who need help, you integrate all the six paramita. Unbelievable practical practice. You know, it's a Bodhisattva's conduct, it's a Bodhisattva's deed. Then no question about when you are practicing, you know, the part that I mentioned before. So all those parts also you need to integrate the six paramitas practice. You know, of course, the Bodhisattvas will do that. But, you know, if we know that this is beneficial also for the later part, in the higher level of practice, when we achieve Bodhisattva part, then it is whatever you practice now, it is very much like a training and preparation for greater practice in the future, you know. So there's one thing that I forgot. In relation to the wisdom, if I may expand a little bit, in relation to the cooking, you see, after you present the food, it's very much similar to the practice of patience here. Now, this is very much, the practice of wisdom. When you practice this, the wisdom of selflessness, wisdom of lack of, wisdom of true existence of self, then, wisdom of lack of selflessness of the food, and the selflessness of the receiver, then whatever attitude that other relate to you, even they instead of appreciation of your cook, they give a negative comment, you will be never hurt. You have done in the best your way. You will be never get disappointed, never get hurt. Or even someone praise you like a Mount Meru, you will never get boosted your ego. You see, so when you practice the wisdom, these are the effect. You see, then another important, which is so relevant to our life, is when you take care of your children. You see, when you take care of children or take care of anybody, especially children, use the tool of 6 paramita. Then after they've grown up, if they become like Bodhisattva, well done. If in case if they are experiencing the impact of their past karma, they didn't turn out to be the way you wish for them, even though you invested entire your life, bringing them up, but then finally they turn out totally opposite, and that's going to be disaster. Painful for the parent, isn't it, caretaker? So in order not to have that kind of difficulty, when you apply the practice of 6 parameters, especially the wisdom, then you have the wisdom of understanding of karmic law, cause and effect. You have the wisdom of understanding of the lack of inherent existence, etc. Especially it is beneficial, the right view of karmic law, cause and effect. Just by understanding that, then you kind of get the help of the understanding of karma to not to affect your emotion. You see, rather you find other skillful means to help the person, by yourself dedicating more practice and dedicating the merit to the person, like that. So otherwise, the disappointment can be very, very hard. And also in relationship, for some people, they go through a tough relationship, after putting so much effort, investing so much of time, but then after many years later, they just can't get together, and worse than that, they accuse each other, harm each other. There are many relationships in the court case, and many relationships that really they are very much, their objective from now on is to destroy and alienate the one that to whom you used to love the most in your life. It become like that, you see. And there are also in the Buddhist practitioner, Dharma practitioner, there are people who experience like that also. So from since the integration of the practice of 6 paramita can be practiced by very beginner people like us, so that we can immune to we have this resistance to all sort of ordinary obstacles in our life, to able to overcome, you see. So like that. Yeah, so something like that. Now then okay, so now the another angle, the union and how to practice wisdom and method in union in our day-to-day life. Whenever, let's say, within 24 hours of life, the first thing that when you wake up, best if you have a certain level of understanding of emptiness. First, you meditate on emptiness. The first thing, you meditate on the emptiness. Then, in the expense of emptiness, then you generate altruistic intention, on the basis of the relative truth. Then, from the emptiness, you bring out your this skillful means of this ordinary life. The whole of yourself. Then, if you are working, then from that emptiness, you actualize the work. You actualize all the duties that you do, whatever activities that you're going to do today, even just go for grocery shopping, everything is arise in the expense of emptiness. Everything arises in the expense of emptiness. Then your engagement, like directly going to the market and engaging with the phenomena, engaging with the shopkeeper, everything is a skillful tool. Skillful means altruistic. Skillful means to bring benefit to the sentient being. Very much. Now you create yourself as a wish fulfilling jewel, like what like Bodhisattva Charya, Nagarjuna, Shantideva, they have expressed in their teaching, like may whoever see me, remember me, touch me, think of me, praise me, harm me, or even cause of my life, may I be completely, cause for others' virtues and happiness. You see, like truly, wish granting jewel. And you carry that wish granting jewel yourself, go to the market, go to shopping, go to work. Now, anyone talk to you, see you, even people jealous, criticize you, people praise you, every single relationship, you contribute virtue seed in others. Unbelievable, so beneficial, you see. Then throughout the day, you can, try your very best to be as generous as possible, as moral discipline as possible, as patient as possible, as mindful as possible in your conduct. You see, now all the 6 parameters again come here. You see, so and these are, you see, so beneficial. If you be more moral discipline, you have less trouble, isn't it? Naturally. If you are more generous, surely you will be likable, among the people, isn't it? Or even among the animals, when you're very generous, you see. Then when someone is patient, you are most charming person. If you are a patient person, you are so beautiful. Everybody will like you. You see. Then whatever job you do, especially something that which is directly benefiting others, you are so joyous. You are so consistent. You're always there for them. You see. Then on top of that, you do everything selflessly. Unbelievable. Everything is like completely selfless. No expectations. Solely for the benefit of others. So it's so beautifully the 6 parameter again comes in here. And that really, in immediate level, it really make your life so secure, so protected, so virtuous, so beautiful, so harmonious with everything, nature and the people and the rest of the sentient being. You see, then ultimate benefit, no question, how much merit that you accumulate, because these are the Bodhisattva's conduct. We are like kind of in a very fast pace, running towards becoming Bodhisattva. If we live our day like that, isn't it? So we do. So in such practices, we don't really need to go, like hide in the cave, or we don't really need to kind of go in a different continent. Each and every one of us can can practice wherever you are, in whatever life that you have, everyone can become a perfect practitioner, perfect practitioner and successful, practitioner, towards the becoming Bodhisattva, isn't it? So Dharma is one way, is the easiest thing that can, we can do is the Dharma. If we know how to practice, Dharma is the easiest thing. But if we don't know how to practice, then Dharma is the hardest, most complicated, most unimaginable. Is unbelievable, like that, and sometimes we are caught up with a lot of philosophy, a lot of high terms, and it texts, quotations, until that we start to believe that Dharma is only possible by somebody. Dharma is just too hard. Emptiness is just too far away. Oh, bodhicitta is just completely, far away. How can I practice bodhisattva? I still think about myself. People may think like that, isn't it? But if you really bring into grounded, oh, in fact, I'm already doing all these things. Just need to be more mindful. That's it. You are completely well and complete practitioner of the complete path. You see, so like that. So this is a one angle or one aspect. How to integrate wisdom and method in the union practice. Oh yes. So together with that, then at the end of the day, when you conclude the day, then dedicate in bodhicitta and emptiness. You see, everything. Of course, throughout the day, end of each activity, if you're able to dedicate, that would be wonderful. If not, motivate at least once in the first morning, and dedicate at least once, before conclude the day. Or if you really want to save even one moment of your awake time in the practice, then don't to set up this motivation, to meditate on emptiness, then generate a bodhicitta motivation. No need to wait until that you wash, you dress up, you just do that in the bed. The moment you wake up, you see, immediately, you do this practice. So in order not to even get interrupted by going to toilet, etc., then you can integrate some of the yogic or the meditator or the retreaters practice at night. Drink less water, eat lighter food, so that you will have a better sleep, so that you will wake up a bit earlier, and you are also the first morning that you are not need to rush to toilet, so you still have at least like 5-10 minutes, or if not more, in the bed. The moment you wake up, directly go into meditation and emptiness. Then motivate bodhicitta. Then you do rest of the activities. Then at the night time, when you do dedicate, first you dedicate in bodhicitta. May whatever the merits, actions, everything that you dedicate for the cause of numberless sentiments, enlightenment. If there's anything knowingly that you have engaged in negative actions, or happen to get angry, or unintentionally, if there may be any negativities, then you if possible, you apply 4 opponent power. Each day you apply 4 opponent power. Without doubt, all those negativities will be purified. So this is what Vinaya Sutra, Paramita Sutra, everywhere emphasize about that. The 4 opponent power, the opponent power of reliance, refresh your refuge, first one. Then just acknowledge, if you know any negativities you have committed, you acknowledge it. Oh, those are not right to do. It against my practice of altruism, my practice of 6 paramita. It did against what I motivate in the morning. So I acknowledge, is negative, shouldn't be doing. Or it also called as the antidote or regret. If very much meaning is to recognize the faults as a fault. Then after that, then as an antidote, if you are practicing Vajrasattva, you can recite Vajrasattva mantra or any Buddha's name mantra, or just Om Mani Padme Hum, or meditate on emptiness or bodhicitta, whatever, all become antidote. Or then the last one is, make a resolution that from now on, I will not commit any form of this negative karma, at least until tomorrow morning. Even course of my life, you need to have a time frame to bring the effectiveness. Until tomorrow morning, all those negativities that I did in the daytime, even course of my life, I will not commit it. Like that. And those of negative karma that you really know that you can avoid at all for all the time, then you say, entire rest of my life that I will not commit even course of my life, like that. Well, then after that, then you you meditate on emptiness. You try to dissolve everything into empty. You can do that from the larger aspect. First, the entire universe and all the things and the memories of the past. Then the concern of the future. Everything, you just dissolve into empty of substantial existence, empty of true existence. There's no real intrinsically existent out there of those worry that I have, or those things that I've seen. Everything lies in the nature of emptiness. You understand like that. Then after that, then gradually, your house, dissolve into the empty. Then your room dissolve into the empty. Or then your, bed dissolve into the empty. Or then your body from the crown to the toe, dissolve into empty. Then your thoughts, your mind also dissolve into empty. And completely, entirety of existence, dissolve into empty of inherent, and actualize as a nature in the union of great bliss and emptiness. So because of you've been releasing, all the grasping of apprehension of this and that, and those negative, positive, whatever. Since it's released, everything, one by one thread, you just untie, release. That kind of build the energy in your continue freer and freer, more and more liberated. When it comes to the point that even your mind or your identity, that also dissolve into empty, there comes that you are kind of like a bird, released from a thread, released from the cage. You are completely liberated from all the bondage of grasping. Because of that, you start to feel, the sensations of lightness, freedom, bliss, in their sense of kind of like relief, goodness, so it is again depend on individual. Those who practice a lot, then you're completely bliss out. You see, it's completely blissed. But those who initially do also will feel there's some impact, that's feel a bit good, feel something light. There's no kind of like tightness, tension. And that bliss, that blissful experience on the basis of completely bringing into empty is union. So your awareness is as empty as like a space, so vast, so empty that nothing to kind of like point, like south and west, nothing to kind of say good and bad. But at the same time, it's so spacious, so bright, luminous. It's like so transparent. it's nothing is hiding, nothing is hidden to you, and that nothing is hidden, nothing is hiding to you is none other than that blissful experience, the great bliss, that which is the core essence of releasing the grasping of, grasping of attachment, grasping of inherent, grasping of dualistic, whatever it may be. It is releasing of that, you see. So just then just simply remaining in that awareness, try to hold on to that awareness, or try to be aware of that awareness of bliss and void of, non-existent, the void of, all intrinsic existence, emptiness. Then try to go to bed in that meditation. Try to seize your gross mind in that. Even that practice itself is also, very much experience at the beginner level. You may not able to meditate on the emptiness of the emptiness, or emptiness of the mind, or emptiness of the wisdom that which realizing emptiness. You may not able to do that at the beginning, but those who are quite well practiced one, now during that period, their mind become even greater, sharper than ever before. And they have only one object of meditation on emptiness, that is the emptiness of emptiness, or emptiness of the mind, the wisdom itself. So they completely dissolve into complete expanse of emptiness. Then who able to sustain that for a long time, many beginner, they realize emptiness directly there. Many beginner, they realize first, conceptual realization of emptiness, or then those who already realize conceptual realization of emptiness, which is also be realized by those who are not entered into path, like us, also can able to realize it. Then those who already realize that, this kind of practice will bring to realizing the absolute realization of emptiness, direct realization of emptiness. Those who are already in the high level of practice, and this will lead for them to realize the Dharmakaya, the Buddhahood. You see, and this practice is so beneficial when we're passing away from this life at the clear light experience. And this is exactly the experience that is happened, the last stage, the near, losing the hallucination of the white appearance, black appearance, white appearance, black near appearance, up, very much anti-conceptual experiences at the time of death. All those conceptual destruction will be lose one by one, until that you come to a point that completely black out, or then you overcome that, which is the black near appearance. You reach to the clear light, and that clear light is nothing more than the union of bliss and emptiness, which is the actual experience of clear light mind. And those who are well trained in such meditation will realize, oh, this is the emptiness of the clear light, the emptiness of the being. You see, and those who are not well trained, you experience that void and bliss, but you cannot relate that as a clear light practice. Unable to relate, because the clear light experience is natural to every people, whether you practice or not. But whether you're able to take clear light as a path or not is the training required, preparation training required. And what I've just explained is very simple, which anybody can practice in our day-to-day life, because going into sleep is exactly like dying. The process of death is very, 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 almost like 99% similar, only except one, we still wake up next morning in the same body. Otherwise, exactly like 99% is the same. So those like us, like we train again and again until that when you come to the dream state, which is totally, you know, sleep person in the dream state, then you recognize dream as a dream. So that is very much the level that practitioner of the dying practitioner recognize ordinary clear light as a object to be, you know, actualized as a clear light path. So there, those who not realize emptiness will realize emptiness. Those who already realize emptiness, within short period of that time, you know, there are many practitioners who do in the clear light meditation, isn't it? They are in the progress of, some of them are, you know, in the progress of realizing emptiness directly. Some of them are taking, you know, 1 week or more, or even a month. They are rapidly, you know, going through the 10 bhumi that we have just discovered. You know, they're processing from there, you know, in their continuum. And there are many who, such practitioner, realize Dharma kaya, you know, at the time of death, you know. And this is one of the key practice of generation and completion stage of the Tantra. Called as the practice of 3 kayas, isn't it? 3 kayas. So one of them is the taking death onto the clear light onto the path. You see. So if we are well trained in the sleeping yoga, if in case we miss the opportunity during the clear light, we may still have another chance during the intermediate state. And during the intermediate state, not only 1 chance, we have a 7 chance, because it occurs 7 deaths, 7 times death in the intermediate state. If the first one not successful, you try second one, or maybe the first one you actualize the very, very ground level emptiness. Then second one, you actualize the conceptual level of realization emptiness. Then maybe by third or fourth, you already realize, let's say third, you realize the direct realization of emptiness. Then fourth, you already, you know, pass up to the 7 bhumi. Fifth, you pass through up to the 10 bhumi. Or 6, 7, you already pass enlightenment. You actualize Dharmakaya, you know. So when you are well trained, all these are without asking, abundance of opportunity for us. Like without asking, it's a natural to us. You see. So so therefore, the practice of sadhana, practice of deity yoga, you know, throughout our life, is very much, you know, preparing for that. Very much preparing, because within this ordinary body, before experiencing the clear light, is very hard. It's very hard to, you know, actualize the complete rainbow body. You know, it is extremely hard, but still within this very ordinary lifetime, we have the opportunity to achieve enlightenment. Is before we discard this ordinary body, while we experience the clear light. Because clear light time, we are not dead yet. Spiritually not dead yet, you know. So there, all the past Kadamba masters, like Milarepa, you know, all of them achieve 1 lifetime enlightenment is through there. You see, like Lama Tsongkhapa, you know, all of them, they achieve 1 lifetime enlightenment is utilizations of the clear light practice, you know, it's like that. So even in our time, there are many great practitioners who utilize the clear light path and show many signs of their enlightenment, you know. So it's not something like only 1,000 years back, you know, only Milarepa can do. In our time, not possible like that, you see. But we have to start with the basic and our day-to-day training, which is, as I mentioned before, when we go to sleep, that is the anyway we will go to bed, isn't it? And anyway, we want to have a best sleep, isn't it? Good restful sleep. If we are able to sleep with the emptiness yoga, that will give you a truly, truly deep best sleep. and even though you intended to have a light sleep where you can recognize as a dream, but most of the time you will fail to do that because you're going to get into a deep sleep, you know. So if too deep sleep, you are unable to do the dream yoga also, you know. You need to have like kind of 50% sleep, but not completely deep sleep, you know. But I think in the initial level, why not? I think we better have deeper sleep than able to do the dream yoga, you know. We will do that slowly, you know. But first we have a nice deep sleep. So do emptiness meditation, so like that. So this is how you can say that union of wisdom and method, within 24 hours, like that, So I think one thing I forgot, when you do the bodhicitta dedication, you also dedicate the rest of the time, rest of the journey through the sleep, also dedicate in the service of numberless sentient beings' enlightenment. Then not even 1 inch, not even 1 moment that you miss out. Yeah, so something like that. Then there are some other practical, especially for those like deity yoga practitioners, and many of us here who do pujas, sadhanas. Then all the time, like doing prostration like that, it's always a wisdom and method union. You see, the right hand as a method represent bodhicitta, all the method aspect of left hand represent wisdom of emptiness. You see, so whenever we do prostration like that, always remind wisdom and method. You see, when you read the benefit, just even hearing the name of bodhicitta, just even hearing the name of emptiness, like in the commentaries, like Sutra commentaries, Panchaparamita commentaries, Diamond Cutter, etc. You see, just even pronouncing the name of emptiness is shattered the karma, samsara, of foundations like that. So whenever you do that, remember wisdom and method, union together. Then during the puja, it's very beneficial to do the mudra. So whenever you do the lotus mudra, before you ring the bell, they always start with the lotus mudra, like Om Aryatare Sapare Wari, So this is the like wisdom and method, helping each other, supplementing each other. In other words, it's union each other. You see, not just one, like that. So there's such a great significance. Then a high Sukhi tantric practitioner, like Vajra and bell, holding Vajra and bell. Vajra symbolize method, bell symbolize wisdom. So not just using one, always using together. Even when you pick up the Vajra and bell, you see, let's say on the table like that, then not hold one by one. One hand you hold the Vajra, then after that hold the bell, then only pass to the left hand. So these are the tantric tradition. It symbolizes the union. Always wisdom method, always union together. You see. So then when you put, you don't put like this one by one like that. You the method go and collect the wisdom, then put this on the table, then put the Vajra like that. So these are some practical things. We may be doing that, but sometimes we don't relate to the meditation, to what is the significance. So if we remember the significance, then it is a meditation. So like that. Then whatever practice, even like pujas, all the pujas is the union practice of wisdom and method. So therefore, all the puja, you hear Om Sobhava Shuddha, Sarva Dhamma Sobhava Shuddha Ham, from the very beginning, after doing all the preliminary practices, and the main actual body practice, start with the empty, in the expanse of emptiness. Then after that, there are so many method aspects of practice, like such as 7 limb practices, purification practices, making offering practices. All these are the method practices. So we also, whenever we do puja, the one thing we remember that wisdom and method is union. So and through that, then you perform any puja practice. It's so meaningful, So that's one thing. Then at the end of the dedication, always dedicate with wisdom and method, like that. So even when Buddha taught the teaching, first teaching, which historically, Four Noble Truth. Of course, the truth of path is emptiness. Then the truth of cause of suffering, truth of cause, truth of suffering and truth of cause of suffering. The first two truth is very much the method, based on the teachings of altruism, the compassion. The latter two truth is the wisdom. Again, these two union. Then, beside that, Buddha's first spoken Dharma is the emptiness. Om Ye Dharma here, the interdependent arising. So interdependent arising, we call it interdependent arising mantra. Om Ye Dharma here, that one. So the interpretive meaning is the cause and effect, is referring to the method aspect of the path. Definitive meaning is the emptiness, wisdom, the ultimate. Again is the union, like that. So yes, then when Buddha, last moment when he passed away, his last teachings, the direct pronounced in impermanent, but very much the impermanent itself is a method aspect, but then taught about the detachment to the disciple, because they are, disciples are like crying, missing him and lamenting, so while he was dying, so he asked them to understand the selflessness, to actualize detachment. So again, the union of wisdom and emptiness, and so like that. Then the historical middle turning wheel of Dharma, the direct, so there's again what do you call the direct and indirect teaching there. So direct teaching is emptiness, but indirect teaching is the method aspect of the path, entire method aspect of the path. Even in Heart Sutra, when he taught the Heart Sutra. So sometimes we just understand it's a wisdom teaching, but actually taught the both, but one is indirectly, like that. Then similar goes to the last teaching, like that. Something like that, I think. There may be a few points, but I think briefly something like that. So maybe we stop here since time also finished. Unless you have some questions. Otherwise, we can stop anytime.
If you have a question, please raise your hand or use the icon to raise your hand. Please, Amanda, unmute. Thank you.
I have a question, Geshe Zopa.
Sure.
When you speak of the Buddha's wisdom body and the Buddha's form body, is that something that's far away, or is it something close by, but I just can't see it because of my delusions?
It's in fact is not even close by. It's with you. It's completely inseparable. Yes, and unable to realize is, yes, because of the cloud of the delusions, cloud of ignorance. Because we are born with that. Wisdom body and the form body. The substance is there. The form body is the conventional Buddha nature. Wisdom body is the ultimate Buddha nature. These two Buddha nature, is our innate nature. So whatever practice that we are doing is just clearing the cloud, bit by bit. That's it.
Sometimes when you read things, it just seems so far away, but it's good to know it's not actually far away.
True. Yeah, the far away is, sometimes it's, our laziness. We didn't investigate well. If we investigate well, everything is actually there, how to say, we kind of get disturbed by the very kind of tense, the cloud, different type of cloud, and we caught up with that, and we never enjoy the vastness of the space. Actually, it is ultimate nature, So like that, rain comes, thunder comes, and even when there's no cloud, we hardly look up in the space. Even there's no cloud, and we also have many times our mind is quite relaxed, quite free, but then that time we feel bored. We think that we have nothing to do. Now I better go and climb Mount Meru. What's it? The Mount Kailash, Mount Everest. Risk your life, or maybe go into a big driving, or go for long holiday, expensive holiday. Actually, those periods are like, if we just, close our eye and, look in the lengthy lens, look into ourselves, or you will see the absolute space like, Dharmakaya, and such a, the essence of the form body, which is so altruistic. You are so pure. You find like that. So yes, very like that.
Thank you.
Geshe, I'm sorry, I muted you. Can you, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Sorry. So we conclude here. Okay, so we do a short dedication. So whatever merit that we accumulate through this session, merit that accumulated in the past, that are going to accumulate in the future, then, knowing infinite merits of the past, present, future Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Gurus, and many sentient beings, by rejoicing, again, we accumulate abundance of merit. May this collective merit be complete cause for numberless sentient beings to be free from oceans of samsaric suffering, and actualize all the conducive causes for peace and happiness, enlightenment. May this collective merit be complete cause. This pandemic and the war, natural disaster, all to be pacified, without delay, even a moment. May this collective merit be complete cause. All the beings that will pass away, in particularly in last 49 days, free from suffering of death, suffering of intermediate state, suffering of rebirth, they actualize rebirth in the Buddha's pure realm. May this collective merit be a complete cause. All the world leaders, leaders of organizations, those who lead the family, and ourselves who lead our life, be free from all the negative emotions and fill our heart with full of altruistic attitude and wisdom of selfless, so that anyone under their leadership can able to enjoy peace, happiness, virtue. May this collective merit of ours be complete cause. All the good people in this world, like such as His Holiness Dalai Lama, all your spiritual gurus, and all the other people who are working for the peace and happiness of sentient being, like yourself and your family members, always enjoy good health, long life, and fulfill all your aspirations accordingly. May this collective merit of ours be a complete cause. All the virtuous institutions, like monasteries, nunneries, and all the Dharma centers, and especially here, Tuten Nurbuling, be free from all the inner outer secret obstacles and actualize all the conducive conditions to preserve the Dharma in most extensive learning, and realizing all the stages of path without delay even a moment. May this collective merit be a complete cause. May we be able to practice Bodhisattva's deeds, effectively. May our life be like the wish-fulfilling jewel for the rest of numberless sentient beings, starting from 84,000 living beings in our body, then yourself too, then the rest of the family members, and everyone. May we be the cause of their virtue, happiness and enlightenment. Then finally understand that ourselves, the marriage, and the purpose that we dedicate all lies in the nature of emptiness, in the nature of interdependent arising. So therefore, whatever merit that we accumulate, whatever dedication that we did, nothing is wasted, since it's dedicated in altruism and wisdom of emptiness. Just a matter of time, everything will be actualized in result. Jawade Nudo Dalama Sanjo Doji Jamalopati, Zalagoba Jo, and Simjori Bojama Japan, Jiwanya Bamba, Kone Gondo Pevasho, Tony Tower, Bojama Japan, Jiwanya Bamba, Kone Gondo Pevash, Premier Tower and Bojama Japan, Jiwanya Bamba, Kone Gondo Pevara, Show, Canada, Covation on the Pendant, the Wamani, Cheres, and Tenzin. Shabe said about the danger, to the change of Jamoja, the Jope, concert over the chosen government to the Batazo de Jukondo. Jardin George de la Megozer of the Genova, Jojo Yamada, the bedroom, as you do, Mazeda, the Javacondo, Yandalama, Tamichi, Bellalong, Sadalam, there of the Doje Changi, Gomba, Nudo, Jo, Pamas Jedam Jedin, the Eugene, and Rotam Jedado, Domada, Chachus and Bacana, Sujuba, the Takuman, some Geneva, Geneva, New to and Malep. Tado Joame Bajo, Jameba, Jimana, Gondo Zambode, and the Jinje, the Tapu, Daloje, Jawa, the Tadam Gerald. Jebe Java, Wagala should about the Taji Jebe, so the Queen. Sambo Jera do Mowai, Bedan Zoa Mikabation, who bottom the same Jera, some children to the you wanted it, sent it in Yemeko, and in the Tado Dele, Conjo, Sumje, Tashi show. Tujeche, thank you very much. Please take good care of yourself and take good care of each other. Thank you.
Geshe, the center would like to offer a Thanksgiving mandala, if that's okay.
Oh, okay, sure. I'm ready.
This ground anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, 4 continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha field and offer it. May all living beings enjoy this pure land. May my venerable Lama's life be firm, his white divine actions spread in the 10 directions. May the torch of the teachings of Losang always remain, dispelling the darkness of all beings in the 3 realms. Yedam Guru Ratna Mandala
Mandala Gamniya Daya.
Thank you, Geshe.
Tujeche, thank you very much. Take care. Good night.
Good night.